Creo que se ve nice. Good afternoon, teachers and classmates. My name is Juan Rafael Almeida Calero, and today I am going to talk about plagiarism. What should you know about it? Plagiarism and its importance. You can tell me, well, I know certain information about plagiarism, but what is plagiarism? I think it's appropriate to ask ourselves this type of questions for have a better knowledge of different themes, in this case, the plagiarism. Plagiarism is a technique that is provided in all forms for every institution and every job and other medias, because plagiarism is the act of using someone else's ideas and making pass like it was my idea. This includes information from websites, books, songs, television programs, emails, interview. There are many ways, sometimes more creative, and others more easy to catch, of plagiarism. That was important to know how to avoid making these mistakes when writing, because some people, in this case universities and people who study some careers, sometimes commit plagiarism because some type of ignorance in the rules of, in this case, the APA norms. And now I am going to tell to you the effects and characteristics of plagiarism. Among the effects plagiarism can generate is the loss of your job because you're stealing the work of your partner, some financial problems if you have plagiarism. In this case, for example, the credit card, use the credit card of your friend, and this is a very legal problem. And the most common is academic sanctions because you had plagiarism and exams, a debate. This is very common. In this case, in our university, there are very grave forms of sanctions the plagiarism. The characteristics. Among the characteristics of plagiarism, we can find two. They are the more principal. Is stealing the word or pardon and changing the true author's name and making pass the words of my friend like was mine. The next is the types, because there are many different types of plagiarism. In these types, there are sometimes so many, as I am going to talk about, but copy-paste information without acknowledging. This is the most common type of plagiarism. It consists of simply copying and pasting information from other sources, like verbatim in this case. The next is the self or auto-plagiarism. This is using parts of another work. An example, I had a book and I use some parts of this book in my work. That is considered a self or auto-plagiarism because it's my own work. And number three is the collusion. The collusion is when you're a teacher using a project to our students that making individually, but they had a conversation and made the work in groups of 2 or 4 persons. That is one collusion. The number four is cloning. It refers, and it's very easy to catch, is to presenting someone else's work exactly with the same words, the same title, the same bibliographic reference, because you had a very discarded priorities. The next is the number 5 is the mosaic. This type of priorities use information from various sources, like copying the exact words, making them fit into a text. This type of repairs in the words. Number 6 is remix. This type is very similar to the previous one, but in this case the materials are taken from websites and many different websites to making more difficult to catch. Number 3 is find and replace. This involves replacing some words or ideas in the text used with synonyms. This is a very common type. Number 8 is verbatim. This phrase refers to use transcript or audios like a conversation in a movie, the lyrics of a song, and a person's interview. And now we're gonna talk how to prevent plagiarism, because there are some ways to prevent this type of problems, and there are the next. To prevent plagiarism, we must consider the following aspects when writing our text. The fight is to cite source, acknowledge the author's rights, have a correct cite, help us to not have so many problems with the authors. Number two is paraphrase correctly, explaining the another person's ideas in my own words. The number three is to never copy and paste a text without proper reference. This is considered plagiarism. And number four is we can use plagiarism detection programs to verify our writings. There are many programs and many different tools to detect this type of plagiarism. It's important to remember that plagiarism is not just copying, it's a lack of honesty, it's a betrayal to your partners, to your teacher, independently or if intentionally or unintentionally due to ignorance. Therefore, it's our task like a future teachers to reference correctly when we use the ideas of other persons. And because this is going to determine our credibility and truth in the future. Because this is a very required skill that we need as in our life or teachers of English. These are my bibliographic reference. You can see I have some links for different different websites, because this is the true, but my work has not been plagiarized. And this is important because I show you that you can use some ideas, some information from websites or other type of sites, because if I reference this correctly, it's not considered plagiarism because I have the inspiration and I have the true self of the information that you have for me. Thank you for listening.